What do you get when you want power but in a kind of portable device? Dell very recently released the G15 Special Edition gaming laptop, which is just about the cheapest laptop that you can find on Dell's website that has dedicated graphics and a pretty darn beefy CPU. So it comes in the box, and is it any good? Let's find out. Oh, it's heavy. What's up, everyone? I'm the Everyday Dad, and if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. So I ordered this about a month ago, and it took a real long time to get here, so everybody else has already made their videos, but I'm so darn excited about this thing that we're just gonna crack it open anyway. So this is the Dell G15 Special Edition. Now, what Special Edition means is I pointed the wrong side. AMD inside. So yes, this does not have an Intel processor. This has an AMD Ryzen laptop CPU, which I'm very excited about. From all the comparisons I've seen, this has a very beefy CPU, and I did, so I bought this myself, and I ordered the version with the upgraded CPU, because there's a few things that I'm looking to get. One is I want a better computer for my VR gaming rig, and two, I want to see how much this absolutely crushes video editing for way cheaper than either the XPS 15 or the XPS 17 that I've had. So let's crack it open. Now you may be like, hey, it looks like you already opened this up, and I did, because I've been buying a lot of Dell computers, and I thought there was gonna be a box inside of this box, but no, we're in budget PC land. There's no box. You get the shipping box, and you better be happy that you just get the shipping box, right? Like, that's all that it looks like we're gonna get today. Okay, so what comes in here? That is all. That is all that the box gives you. So we get some paperwork, Dell G5. Nothing, you can definitely tell that Dell puts a lot more into their packaging and material for their XPS line as opposed to their gaming line. Because look, this isn't even in color. On the XPS line, we got a color graphic that showed us how to set up a computer and plug it in. This one is just like, whatever. You get black and white. That's what you get. Thanks, Dell. We also have a warranty card, which blah, blah, blah. We have a much beefier power solution. Obviously, this has a way stronger CPU. It has a pretty beefy GPU in it too. So we get a 240 watt power brick, which that, you know what, I'm okay with. Because this is not, it's not USB-C. This isn't designed to be as light or as portable as an XPS machine or as a MacBook, so you wouldn't really expect to have USB-C charging on here. This is a pretty standard power delivery system. 240 watts should be enough to run both the GPU, the CPU, all the intensive stuff inside of here. So yes, we get that. Not very exciting. So let's get to the computer itself. Here we go. You ready? G5 kind of stands for cheap plastic. Again, this can be what, like an $870 computer. So I'm not expecting like super high quality, but I also wasn't expecting such plastic. Like even my G3 seems to have better build quality than this, but it's not as big as I thought it would be. It's actually pretty petite as far as a gaming laptop would go, I would imagine. Looks like we got two giant vents there in the back. These vents, though, seem kind of small. Thermal performance, if you've never really looked into laptops before, thermal performance is the most important thing. We'll crack this open in just a second and see what kind of fan solution they have underneath it, but that makes me kind of nervous. The top also feels very plasticky. Screen looks fine. I do kind of dig this keyboard layout, though. It is very reminiscent of my G3. It does have a number pad. Keys feel pretty, that's a pretty good feeling keyboard. I doubt I will ever use this keyboard. Trackpad looks kind of meh. We've got a 15-inch HD display. Thermal cooling, we'll find out, Dell. We got the Ryzen 4000 series. We've also got Radeon RX graphics, gaming, discrete graphics, less than an inch thick. Is that true? I don't know how true that is, Dell. Maybe, okay, maybe. What do the ports look like? We got power, display port, HDMI, USB-A, Ethernet, USB-C, full SD card, so I do like that. And then we have a lock, two more USB-As, and a headphone. So it is pretty stacked as far as ports go. I do like that. That'll work with my Oculus. Like I said, I'm more excited about this. I'm not a big gamer, but I do want to see how this performs when we get to like some productivity tasks. Because if you're gonna just have a laptop at the home and you're not gonna like go out and use it for things, why not get a big gaming laptop as opposed to like an XPS? But it's gonna have to be like thermally okay for that. It does look like we have some red backlit keyboards because it's a gaming laptop. If we're not gonna have some kind of RGB, then what's the point? Am I right? Okay, let's plug this in real quick, get it set up, and see how the system itself is laid out and what kind of bloatware we've got. Ooh, we do have some bleed in. Can you see that? Wow. We just turned the thing on and we definitely have some light bleed through on the screen. Right here, right here, right here. I mean, that's pronounced. That's not normal, maybe a little bit right here. Now, that's not normally something that I mention. That's drastic. Can you see that? Dang, that's pretty rough on the display goes. So, okay, we'll plug this in. Man, that just like took me right out of it. I know Cortana's gonna interrupt me here in a second, but I do. So I like the actual.
Hi there, I'm Cortana, and I'm here to help.
Stop, Cortana. I'm gonna be honest. The speakers are not wowing me so far, just on the voice. But again, they don't have those front-firing speakers like the XPS. I do like the keyboard layout, the body of the keys themselves, I do actually kind of like this. I like that it's slick, it's smooth, it's not trying to be something that it's not. This does feel much better than the bottom. Like the bottom and the top just really feel bad. They don't feel good at all, which is very disappointing. Even the sides, it does feel very cheap. So hopefully the performance, both like numbers wise and thermally wise, is there, because this, I'm still excited about this. Like the build quality, if it sits in one spot, who cares? But it's striking. And then this, just like this light leakage or bleed through is just not good. Like, as somebody that has, I don't know that I've ever complained about that on a laptop in my life. I definitely noticed that. Every time we do this, you're trying to get me to use an Android phone, and I refuse to. I refuse to. Decline, I do not want the digital assistant, and I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that. Something that I can tell, like, as we're using this, the trackpad's not terrible. The trackpad, I mean, it's not bad. It's certainly not as good as the XPS line, and it's certainly not as good as like a MacBook, but it's perfectly usable. You do have to really click on there. Is it loose? There's just a lot of flex in this. Man, there is just a lot of flex on this board. Can you see that? I thought it was gonna be like, oh, ooh, there's a lot like right in the middle there. Can you see that too? That is moving a lot. But the trackpad at least is fine. It feels like it's tighter on this side than on this side. Like the click goes way down farther on the right side of the trackpad than on the left side of the trackpad. I feel like we're gonna be complaining about the build quality a lot as we use this computer, but I'm gonna, again, it's $870 in its cheapest configuration. I'm not gonna complain too much because this is like half the price of my other computers. They had to sacrifice somewhere. I couldn't get the fancy packaging and the fancy carbon fiber in a computer that costs this little, especially if you want the performance. So almost there. Okay, I was gonna do the snap break, but we don't have to if we are now done. Welcome to Windows. Well, thank you. This display, okay, Dell. Okay, put a different display default on these computers. Like, this display is not bad. It's not a bad display, but it is, you know, a budget display. And it's not doing any favors to that gorgeous background. Like, this background blew me away on the XPS 15 and the XPS 17. Doesn't look so good here. So just use a different backdrop on here. So what do we have? Okay, AMD Radeon settings. So let's check out the graphics card first. I'm used to having like the GeForce experience, so I can look at that from here. We have the Radeon RX 5600M. We've got DDR4 memory, 512 megabytes out of the graphics card. System memory is 8 gigabytes. And our CPU is that 4800H AMD Ryzen. Skip that. You're welcome, Dell. I don't want to register. Register yourself, computer. No, Dell. There's some bloatware that we just found right there. I already don't like that. Okay, I see you installing crap, Dell. And then it went away. You think you saw me call you out on it, so you tried to hide. You can't hide from me. Can't hide from me, bloatware. We'll do more benchmarks and tests on this later. So let's turn it off and crack it open, and let's see what the insides look like. Because that's where I'm curious, because I would like to upgrade this. I did end up returning that XPS 17 because of the trackpad issue, and it looks like another one won't be in for a few months. So until then, I'm gonna try to take the RAM and the solid state drive that I put in that computer, and I'd like to put it in here. And it looks like we don't have, and it looks like we do not need any kind of like special fancy screws. We just have regular Phillips head screws here. And this is way nicer to open up than the XPS's. The XPS's were a huge pain in the butt with those special special screws, and I already know that these are not going to come all the way out, and the second we open this up, some of these are going to fall out, and we're going to hopefully not lose them. Because I lose stuff, you know, more often than I'd like to admit. And I break stuff a lot, which is why I make sure that I have insurance on all of this stuff. Okay, that was way harder than I thought it was going to be. There's something on here that is very, like, did not want to come up, so hopefully we didn't straight up break this thing right as we got it. We'll find out later. If this worked out and you don't see me like angry in the comments, then yeah. What the heck is this? Okay, so it looks like we do have 2 fans. We have 3 heat pipes, but these heat pipes look pretty beaten up already. That does not, like the other ones that I've seen, unlike the XPS's, they don't look like this beat up. So we do have fans, we do have heat pipes. Okay, so this is the LAN. This is like the gigabyte card. So we do have 2 M.2 NVMe ports right here, much like the XPS 15. I am kind of disappointed that they don't give you the screws or the covers to install that, so we'll have to source that ourselves, which is fine. I already have something purchased for that. Looks like you can fit a 7mm HDD right here if you wanted to. I don't know that I would. It has a 51 watt-hour battery. And we do have 2 ports for RAM. So we will definitely be upgrading these 2 things here shortly. Here we've got the battery. It looks like some kind of battery backup. We have all sorts of stuff. Like I love the inside of laptops. I love it, except I don't necessarily love like how beaten up the heat pipe looks. And hopefully we'll find that this is more than enough to support everything. But it does look like there is some upgradability here, which is really nice. The insides look fine. It also does look like this is not soldered down for the Wi-Fi and the Ethernet port. So maybe we'll upgrade that too in the future. I don't know. So yeah, it looks all good. I can't wait to turn this thing on and really get some gaming going on it. I think the first thing I'm gonna do tonight is I'm gonna be playing some Half-Life Alyx on this thing to see how it plays better than on my G3 gaming laptop. So what are some things that you'd like to see out of the G5? Leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. And if you liked this video and you would like to see what I thought about the XPS 17, maybe even the XPS 17 versus the XPS 15, here's a video right here. Click right here to watch my thoughts on that process. Click, 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 click. Thanks for watching.